Hi, here we are at the locker again, and this is box number 59. Kind of taking these at random, and as you can see, we've got a couple, well, no, not really a couple hundred, but we've got a lot of boxes to go through there. So I'm not able to tell you everything about these. Here's a book called French Lessons by Alice Kaplan. It's a memoir. It's in a dust jacket. Very, I wish I knew what it was about. It might be a novel, huh? Kaplan's mother, recently widowed, conceives a plan to go to France. I need a change, she says. I need warmth. Alice, 8, was ready. She would be a French girl living in an orphanage like the storybook Madeleine. Well, anyway, I don't know what to say about this book because I haven't read it myself, but maybe that'll appeal to someone out here. Here is Verse Yet. Oh, this is one of these guys that's trying to be funny. Joseph S. Newman. He's a humorist. Verse Yet shows somebody on a cloud there, and I don't know. Oh, it's inscribed. It's inscribed by someone who. Oh, the beautiful bookplate. Look at that bookplate. Do you know people sometimes buy these things just to get the bookplates out of them? Presented to David Brinigan in friendship and admiration from Beatrice Kellish. And is that a relative of the author? I don't know. Maybe not. But I like the title. Where's Yet? So it's filled with little colorful, poems, huh? There was a certain cautious man of whom it can be said the wisdom of the universe was storaged in his head, and being very wise indeed, he noted in the news how dangerous it was for one to circulate his views. Well, anyway, so it seems to be, verse, and some of it better and some of it worse. So anyway, moving right along. The Absolute at Large by Carol Čapek. Čapek with a little umlaut or something there. I have no idea what this one is about. This is what happens when you pile up 10,000 books. You just don't know. We can maybe find something from the title page. The Absolute at Large. Macmillan, 1927. Wow. If we look this up, we would get more information. How about John Lennon, Skywriting by Word of Mouth? So in other writings, including the Ballad of John and Yoko. I'm afraid to say this is not autographed by John Lennon. I wish it was. Or even Yoko Ono. But some of his illustrations are in here. He's a very clever little cartoonist. The Ballad of John and Yoko. Pan Books, in association with Jonathan Cape. It's a first edition. You see the rundown of the numbers there. Proves that it's the first published in the United States in 1986. I guess we had lost him by that time already, but and it's illustrated too. Okay, we'll have to refer to my website to see what the price is on there, because I cannot, unfortunately, price all these books, in the book, and the price changes. Frederick the Great on the Art of War. It didn't translate it, so it's a handsome scholarly book, and by DiCapo Press. So DiCapo Press, I think, has some very worthwhile books. And moving right along, let's see, what about this one? Ooh, the Truman Scandals. Well, that goes way back. If there were Truman scandals, that would be Harry S. Truman, who was the president from in the late 1940s and early 50s, during the very end of World War II and the very start of the Korean War, replaced by Eisenhower. This book came up from Regnery, Chicago, 1956, and it is, well, they don't mention another edition, so this may very well be the first edition. Just depends on how much you're interested in history and in Harry S. Truman. Let's take a few more. Voices in the Evening by Natalia Ginsburg, and I'm not sure what this book is about. A glowing light of modern Italian literature, says the New York Times Book Review. Italy's foremost woman writer and one of its finest writers of any kind, says Newsday, assuredly a voice to reckon with among writers of the post-war period. Now, other than that, it's just a very clean, handsome book. memoir. There's a conversation going on in here, so I guess it's a novel, per se. And, oh, it's one of my favorite authors, but try to read Umberto Eco. It's very dense. It's very dense stuff. But anyway, Baudolino. And as you can see, here's somebody blowing on a little trumpet or something, and people are dressed up in all kinds of weird costuming and stuff, by the author of The Name of the Rose. Yeah, he became very famous maybe 10 years ago with his stuff. A fantastical narrative, historical fiction at its best, smart, enrapturing, and authentic, said Book List. It is April 1204, and Constantinople, the splendid capital of the Byzantine Empire, is being sacked and burned by the Knights of the Fourth Crusade. Well, now, why would they do that? Why would they take, Constantinople, which had been turned into a Christian center, and why were they sacking it for the purpose of this crusade? I don't know. But, maybe this would be of interest to some of our readers out there. And it's beautiful, beautiful book, and the dust jacket on it looks really good also. Here is Michael Baines' White Boy Singing the Blues, the Black Roots of White Rock. And there's Elvis in the thing. I wish I could tell you the price, because some of the books do have a price, but that price has been changed by now. That might be a price I got it for a while ago. Cohen's Law Office, the something Love Law. Beale Street in the 1960s before its elimination. I don't know. Who are these guys? What are they doing? And there's Elvis up on the stage. So this definitely has something to do with good old Elvis. Oh, wow. Lots of pictures of him. So let's look that one up at some point. That sounds real interesting. And we're running out of time. I didn't want to take too long on this presentation. Aristotle, The Classical Heritage of Rhetoric, edited by Erickson. Book is in very nice condition. And rhetoric, well, that's a very specialized field, very specialized target. I guess if somebody, wants Aristotle, there it is. Nice condition. Oh, look at this one. Isn't that cute? The Music Hour, 4th book, dedicated to Edward MacDowell. We don't know who Edward MacDowell is, but such a cute figure of a young man playing the fiddle, and then this little young couple, they look like they're 11 years old or something, dancing to it. So let's see how far back this book goes. Silver Burdett Company, it's a music company that I've noticed before. And are they going to tell us? Are they going to tell us what the date is? Maybe not. Jeepers, I am not sure how old it is. We may be able to tell from internal information. Sometimes what they do is they'll put a copyright on these songs. Oh, this is interesting. Look, they have the composer's photograph or painting on here. So we'll have to look this one up and see what the price is. Kind of interesting. It looks like it's from the 1930s or so. The Mysterious Montague, A True Tale of Hollywood Golf and Armed Robbery, by Lee Montville, New York Times best-selling author of The Big Bam and Ted Williams. And what's this about? The Mysterious Montague. It kind of makes you wonder who was the mysterious. It's a perfect book. I should probably show that. I should probably show you guys what the covers look like under the dust jackets. He was a 1930s golf legend and Hollywood trickster who adamantly refused to be photographed. He never played professionally, yet sports writing legend Grantland Rice still heralded him as the greatest golfer in the world. Then, in 1937, the secrets of John Montague's past were exposed, leading to a sensational trial that captivated the nation. So he had some kind of secret, and he was in Hollywood, and he was a golfer. So this will, attract, I hope it'll attract interest. As because a lot of that's a sport that people are absolutely fascinated with. And we're near the end here. Whoa! The History of Prostitution by George Riley Scott. So there's some classic-looking ladies on there. It looks, they don't look like prostitutes. They look more like Greek, you know, goddesses or something. It's not illustrated. It looks to me like this is an older book that's come out of. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. It says 68. Previously published in 1968 as Ladies of Vice by Tallis Press in London. This edition published in 1996 by Sennett. Copyright. The original copyright is 1968. So maybe you can make out. Can you make out some of those chapter titles? The causes of prostitution, the history of prostitution today. So I don't know, but it's a book. Tall, Thal, and I'm not sure it's a Knopf, but by Jeremy Ingalls. It's got the dust jacket, although the dust jacket is a little bit not so good. And autographed by the author, because it's To Ruth affectionately from Jeremy in 1960. So, let's see what the cover looks like. That's kind of handsome. Look at that. It's kind of gilt on black. Oh, that's a nice design. It's a little with a small tear at the top edge. So I wish I could tell you more about this book. Let's see. Tall is a contemporary epic. In this astounding poem, Jeremy Ingalls has brought to play on the lives of young composer, aviator, and his intimates and casual acquaintances, the accumulated wisdom and lore of the world in which we live. Wow, that's asking kind of a lot. The chief period covered is the past decade, and the locale includes New England, New York, the Southwest, China, the Pacific, Palestine, Greece, and Spain. All of them vital regions of the modern world. So this really goes around the world, huh? Oh, I see what he means. This is actually a poem. Would you look at that? Up Boelmich the Chancer spun, the reels the quecks, and bagmen cried. Their mangy wares, the roaring fun of sidewalk Sunday up the tide of mass lit up. Well, okay, anyway, it rhymes. I don't understand it. I'd have to look at it. It sounded like that was like in some Scotch accent or something. But you don't see that every day. A 400-page, 600-page book of poetry. But we'll have to look that one up, and autographed by the author. So if you look on my site, I believe that there will be a list of these particular books, and we'll also try to get the prices on them and everything, and hopefully there's something here that you can use. And I'll come back and do this again. This is kind of fun, and I've done this just a few times with a couple boxes, and every time that I've done this, I've been selling at least one book out of that box. So my suggestion to you is have a look. If there's something that you want, contact me, please, because I'm actually selling these books online from people that, they like to see them, they like to get them described and whatever and become interested. So thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll do this again very soon.